Oh, man, nothing could be finer than the RAFF report after a Highlander victory. Highlanders win today here, beating Stetson, a very good team and a hot team. And they snap a 5-game losing streak. My pleasure to have with me top assistant Jeff Rafferty. You know, I said to you when we were getting ready for this this interview segment, you know, the Highlanders have had some games they just kind of get off the slow starts. They fight their way back sometimes too late. Not the case tonight. What was the difference in your eyes with the start tonight for the Highlanders?
No, I thought we came out with great energy, like we did down there. Down there, I thought we built a big league. I think we got up to 17 in the first half, but we made shots. I thought our energy today at both ends of the floor was terrific. We held them to 24 points in the first half. I thought the key, to be honest with you, in tonight's game was the way we defended in the first half, and our bench play throughout the evening was terrific. And again, when we took care of the ball, we had 9 assists and 1 turnover in the first half. So I thought we had a great first half. I thought we gained a lot of confidence with that. We played a pretty complete game, other than you know, we made it interesting with the press offense in the second half, like we tend to do. So we got to shore that up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big prep day for Saturday's Florida Gulf Coast game. But we got to shoot some free throws and go over our press offense as well, I would say.
You know, it's easy to talk about Zach Cooks. He had 25 points. A lot of big answers out there. But, you know, again, all of a sudden now the last handful of games in his final season as a Highlander, Riley Walsh has made some big buckets. His scoring has picked up. What can you say about what he's meant now to the Highlanders here the last handful of games? Well,
he's always been a reliable guy in terms of turning over our offense, and you know, he's the guy that makes the extra play, the extra pass, and defensively is where, you know, defensively is where he's really made his mark here over the course of his career. He's historically taken the other team's top wing scorer out of the game, and he's a tough guy to take off the court. But he has here as a fifth-year grad senior, he's down the stretch here, he's really tried to assert himself more, and it's been done in a good way in terms of, you know, us running offense, and then him, you know, late in the clock, him finding a lane where he can drive the ball, and for himself or for others. So he's come on strong lately.
And you mentioned defense. We've already, in the first two answers you've had, it's been alluded to heavily. But, you know, this is a breed of basketball, the defense, that the Highlanders, when they turned the program around, you know, 7, 8, 9 years ago, it was a commitment to defense. And I just thought the way you guys came out with that defensive intensity, you know, this is a team that has some guys who can score, and up until the end with the free throws, you know, they were struggling to break 50 points. Anything different that you've done defensively, or is it just people buying in? What's the reason for the great play on defense and how that can continue moving forward?
I just think it's more of a consistent effort, you know what I mean? And we haven't really been able to settle into a rotation for a number of different reasons throughout the years. We played a lot of different lineups. And when you're struggling, you know, wins and losses wise, you're reaching, you know, and you're trying different things. So one thing that we preach to them is, you know, his defense has to be our staple, and in terms of guarding your man and taking pride in guarding your man, but also being in help position. And it's something we've drilled throughout the year, and we harp on it every day. And you know, at times we've been very good defensively this year, and then there's been stretches where we've struggled. And if you look at it, the games we've won and the games we've played well, we've historically defended well this year.
And I have to ask you, because I saw you go right over to him after you guys you know, shook hands with Stetson, to kind of congratulate and pull under your arm LeVar Williams, a guy that you recruited out of the New England area, a great Boston high school player in the public system. You know, he's had 5 points in each of the prior 2 games coming in, helped seal this game today, reached double figures for the second time this year, both times against Stetson. How important is that extra guy? You talk about the bench. LeVar Williams is a guy that can score.
It's very important, and he's a guy that can score. I mean, he had a prolific high school career. He's obviously known as a great three-point shooter, but he's also he's got a college-ready body. He's big, strong on that guard, you know, at that guard position, and he can, you know, he's had in a number of ways, like, you know, he'll tell you. He hasn't had a great season offensively, but we've had a tough time kind of getting him into the rotation. The area where LeVar's really improved is on the defensive end, because you know, he really struggled when he first got here in terms of getting over ball screens and, you know, just the pace of the college game. I think he's done a tremendous job here over the last month, 5 or 6 weeks, really working on the defensive end. And you know, all it takes is, he had probably his first coming out moment at Stetson a month ago, where he had the 9 or 11 first half points and he made 3 threes. And he's such a kid it's gonna, he's a scorer. He's a programmed scorer. He's a programmed 3-point shooter. So they just need to see the ball go in once in a while. And unfortunately, he hasn't had many opportunities this year. But down the stretch here, we're going to really, really need him. And hopefully this is something we can continue to build on because he's got a really bright future here.
Before I let you go, I made a point before the game. I know I strayed from the polar, but I said to you, Coach, look, we're going to try to change the luck up a little bit with the apple bubbly. You weren't a big fan. I mean, you gave me a little bit of grief, but I said to you, look, this is the key tonight, and if we win, when we win, I'm not only going to bring myself one on Saturday, but you one as well. Will you partake?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Unless it's lemon or lime. That's all I do. Lemon or lime.
Okay, if I get you a lemon or lime bubbly.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Until someone signs me to a lucrative endorsement deal, I'm open to anything.
Yeah, if you know anybody who works for the Better Bubbly.
Apple.
It was all I could grab,
disgusting.
Coach. I didn't pay for it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't pay. Well, there's a shock. I'm sure that surprises you.
It was a good win. Don't ruin it.
Very good win for the Highlanders. Now let's try to string together a run like we've been able to do. Good luck Saturday against Florida Gulf Coast.
Thank you.
Top assistant Jeff Rafferty, Matt Provence. Thanks for watching a victorious edition of the RAFF Report.